With it looking as though cuts are coming to WWE and more, this is Wrestling Hub. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Hub and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Wrestling Hub Official and follow us on Twitter at Wrestling_Hub. Revealing that her last run with WWE was originally supposed to end at WrestleMania 39, Trish Stratus also noted this about winning another women's title, telling Chris Van Vliet, "It just kept going and going. I got to do things I didn't get to do, right? Ladder match, Saudi Arabia, cage match. To be able to dip my toes into the current landscape and check boxes that I wasn't able to check back in the day was pretty amazing. I could become an 8-time champ. That sounds good to me. Why not?" For the creative plans of Mariah May, who recently made her AEW debut, the Wrestling Observer newsletter said, "The story they are doing with Mariah May and Toni Storm is based on All About Eve, which some figured out immediately. The Luther character is based on Max from Sunset Boulevard, and Storm is based now just on Gloria Swanson, but also Bette Davis. All About Eve is a 1950 movie that won 6 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. It's considered one of the greatest movies of all time. The story is about a Broadway star who turns 40 and worried about her career, played by Davis, and is essentially the Storm character, and Eve is this fangirl of Margot Channing, Davis's character. Eve May becomes a big part of Channing's life as fangirl who starts manipulating things until she basically becomes the new young star to push her out. It would be added that Mariah May debuted on the November 8th Dynamite. She did an interview with RJ City and acted like a fangirl for Toni Storm, saying she went to Stardom just like Storm. The deal was made before May left Stardom and when the rumors started flying around about it. Speaking about WWE lacking a big selling point for their Survivor Series premium live event, the Wrestling Observer newsletter noted, with Rollins in this match and Roman Reigns not on the show, there are no world title bouts on the men's side. Commenting on the deal Endeavour made with WWE, Triple H said this to Justin Barrasso of Sports Illustrated. "I can't tell you how excited I am. Working with Endeavour, it's next level. The flywheel for all the things they touch. If you were trying to build that on your own, it's taking you a decade. For us now, it fast tracks everything we're doing. Endeavour, UFC, they're the best in the business at what they do. They put things on a different level of professionalism and we fit right into that. The future is so bright because of the opportunities Endeavour is going to provide for us and the synergies that are there. We're going to take this to a whole new level." When it comes to WWE's confidence in regards to NXT, it was reported that House of Wrestling is told by a WWE source that internally the belief is that NXT viewership will consistently outdraw AEW Dynamite next year, especially when they move to the CW. The belief is based on the idea that the CW is a younger broadcast TV channel instead of an aging cable channel, and will help attract a younger and more influential audience. This is on top of the constantly high quality content they're putting out and Levesque's renewed push to integrate NXT with the other major WWE brands. Generally, there appears to be a belief that the AEW product is cold, even with all the big name stars they have brought in from WWE, like Bryan Danielson and Adam Copeland. It was pointed out that AEW live event ticket sales have dwindled over the last few years. Going over how an AEW star may have to lose his AAA belts, the Wrestling Observer newsletter wrote that Commander, who has the Cruiserweight and Tag titles here, may have to be dropping them. AEW pretty much said they wanted Commander every Saturday, and that leaves it being difficult to book since AAA's TVs are often on Saturdays. Explaining how Fallon Henley ended up injured during a recent match on NXT, the Wrestling Observer newsletter noted Fallon Henley was also said to be in concussion protocol on the November 7th show in her match with Tiffany Stratton. When Stratton did her moonsault finisher, Stratton's knee nailed Henley near the cheekbone and knocked her silly. You could see Stratton concerned, and Henley rocked for a moment from it. Staying on the topic of injured WWE stars, the Wrestling Observer said this about Ricochet's status after seemingly hitting his head hard on Raw. Ricochet is believed to have had a concussion. He had no memory of anything that happened in much of the match, but other than that, was said to be feeling fine. He's in concussion protocol. There is no time frame when he will be able to wrestle again. It could be this weekend and it could be a long time, but the hope was it wouldn't be long. Calling out the fans of All Elite Wrestling for Cody Rhodes departing the promotion for WWE, Bully Ray said on the Fight Nation podcast, AEW fans have nobody to blame but themselves for the Cody situation. It's as if AEW fans welcomed Cody with open arms and pushed him away. In my eyes, and don't tell me about the Anthony Ogogo situation because Ogogo has gone. Those fans pushed that man out of that company. I'm not saying that's the number one reason why Cody's out. There's other reasons, but those fans started to boo him out of the buildings. We want Cody to turn heel and we're not getting what we want. Wow. AEW fans know better than Cody does than we do. The guy was the savior and all of a sudden he was public enemy number one. Touching on CM Punk potentially returning to WWE, Kane told Bill Apter at the Icons of Wrestling convention that Punk joining WWE, I don't know. That's a business decision. I always wish everybody the best. Again, in the end, it's going to be what everyone thinks is best for business. I really don't know that much about the controversy, actually. I haven't been following it that closely. I always want the best for everybody and hope that happens. Speaking of a CM Punk WWE comeback, the Wrestling Observer newsletter noted how the fan response could change the company's mind on a Punk return, writing, "We had been privately told that fan response would be something that could change things from a negative, particularly not wanting for the crowd to loudly want him and not have it be delivered. We were also given the indication again this week that there's nothing to the rumors. The feeling was a negative, but fan response can change that and nothing is ever not ever." During an interview with Steve Fall, Lance Anawai revealed that WWE was interested in bringing him into the company during the Bloodline Tribal Court segment on Raw, saying, "When I was getting back from Japan, they had no dates for me. They had nothing for me. Nothing was planned. I knew like once I dropped the tag straps, I wasn't sure what was going to happen, but since they didn't give me no dates or anything, no vision, because at first when we signed, the vision was, the Samoans versus the Von Erichs, the Samoans versus 5150, like it was a big tag division. Then slowly it started like chopping down and it was the Samoans versus FBI, who was a great tag team. We still wrestled great tag teams, but they pitched the good selling point to us while we're there, and then slowly everything just started dying off. Then we started dying off and I said, hey man, I just want to, right now I'm in Japan, but I don't want my value to go down. I'm enjoying it. I travel back and forth. I didn't want no conflicts with Japan and MLW, and they granted me so many tours as I want with Japan. They granted that for me, but just more of the freedom. Maybe a possibility, man, we just be able to throw it up, man, but who knows? I just wanted that freedom mainly for right now, especially with my family being at the top of the best company there is. I've missed a few opportunities being with MLW, the one on A&E. I missed the possibility of being on the tribal court they were doing, bringing in the whole family. I missed that opportunity. Now I can do it all. I can be at extra work. I can be at tryouts. Like nothing is stopping me now, so I'm just ready to go. So the tribal court, they wanted a lot of us. They asked my grandfather, my dad, my uncles, me, Jacob. They wanted us all, and unfortunately, due to our contracts and everything, we weren't able to. But that's okay, we weren't able to, and we just carried on. And now we just don't know, man. Time will tell. Impact looks very strong right now. In January, they become TNA again. AEW looks awesome. You just never know. Hey, man, that's the life of the freedom. As WWE previously fired over 100 employees from their company HQ and several members of their roster, it looks like more cuts are on the way. With it said in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, the company noted that there will be a great decrease in expenses in eliminating jobs in IT, marketing, finance, human resources, and legal when it comes to overlapping personnel in UFC and WWE who can do those jobs for both companies. They expect to save $50 million to $100 million, and the figure was said to be expected to be the high end of this range, with 75% of the savings being on the books for 2024. And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all later.